And we're back. The third installment of tonight's stream is brought to you by unfortunate necessity, thanks to, and in part, by Streamlabs multi-stream feature that is not working properly. It keeps shitting out. I don't have any problems streaming directly to YouTube, which this is the trying it after the last fix they suggested. If it still doesn't work after restarting to apply the last fix they suggested, then I will just be streaming straight to YouTube for the time being until they get it figured out. They are having some struggles. I have so far been rather happy with Streamlabs. Been having some struggles tonight, but outside of that, I have otherwise been happy with Streamlabs. Assuming it works properly, and in theory, they offer a lot of features direct within Streamlabs that required me multiple plugins, additional programs and windows and screen captures, all that stuff, in order to get the same or similar from OBS Studio. So excluding tonight's / all days, actually, tonight is just the most recent one, but all day since this morning I've been having issues with Streamlabs. Excluding that, I've been happy with them, so I'm hoping they get it figured out. I'm just sending an update to the Streamlabs tech support right now, and then we'll get back to it and hopefully get figured out. Yeah, so unfortunately, technically, I'm applying one last fix. I assume this is Lysandif from Twitch. I'm trying one last fix they suggested. It required a computer restart, so I am back at them one last time on multi-stream, but I'm honestly just betting it will fail again at some point. It's happened as quick as 10 minutes, and it's gone as long as 50 minutes. But when it inevitably fails again, I will throw it right back up onto just YouTube. But I'm doing my due diligence to help them figure out the problem, and I have tried every suggestion that they have given. I've given them a lot of information that I gathered on my own, and they have compiled it into a report for their technical support team, like the higher, like the level 2 or whatever they call it, who works on the back end. Yep. It could be. It could be Twitch causing some issues. Who knows? I have heard many people are having problems. So who knows? But if it fails again, I will throw it right back up onto just YouTube for the time being until they let me know they've fixed the problem. But I'm trying to be a contributing force in finding the solution by trying what they've tried, giving them as much information I've gleaned on my own, and trying to test each solution in isolation so that way when we do find a fix, we know which fix was the actual one. Instead of trying 10 things and having it work and then not knowing which of the 10 actually fixed it. That's what results in pages where they suggest 30 generic garbage things because it's like something worked, or maybe they just got lucky and it quit being a problem. and they don't know why, so they just shotgun all the possibilities out. So I'm trying to avoid that. So when it cuts out again, is my assumption, we will be back on just YouTube. But I'm just doing my due diligence to update them real quick on the result of the last attempt, and then we'll get back to it. All right. Ooh, a goat respawned. Come here, Mr. Goat. Got him. But anyway, I don't know when it cut me out. I was just about to ask how your night's going. Outside of my issues with my stream being kind of unpredictably dying at times, it's been pretty good. Had a good stream earlier tonight with some friends of mine. We did a collaboration stream. We played some Marauders, also known as Starkov, Space Tarkov. It was pretty fun. We did all right. I died a lot because I'm not the best. I am not the best first-person shooterator. That's usually why in most of my competitive, like, PvP gaming is typically more like Overwatch or Paladins. Sometimes I will pick up, like, choose a character that requires shooting and aiming in it, and there are days where I'm on fire with it. But in general, I usually go with the ones that you can either heal or tank, and it's not necessarily shooting, which is very unfortunate and ironic because the very first game that really got me into wanting to do something like this, it got me into wanting to do like esports competitions, was Halo 2. I was very, very good at Halo 2. I was, not like patting myself on the back unduly, just being fair to myself and honest about how good I was. I regularly sat at rank 50 in Halo 2. I would sometimes drop if I had a bad day or a bad few matches, but I'd get right back up, and I was competing right along with the best of them, and I really enjoyed that. I've never been even in the same ballpark as good in any other shooter game since, unfortunately. But I do have a love for them. I have a lot of fun in various shooter games, even though I'm not very good. Good game, Space Tark, but I feel it needs some more meat on it. It surely does. It is very much in a early access alpha state. It's not even really in beta. Like it plays more like an alpha. A lot of things are polished, but the things that are wrong aren't like, bugs that a restart fixes, or bugs that like a small tweak here and there in the settings can alleviate. There are times where you just completely have to, like, I've had to reinstall my game at least once so far to alleviate some issues. And I don't have the best computer, but it's far from the worst. Got an 8700K, and I got a really good bin. I've got it overclocked to 4800 on all cores. I don't run with it that way all the time, but I have successfully had many a gaming session on games that are heavy on processing, on like the processor, that it helped. And I also got a pretty good bin on my 2070. It regularly overclocks itself up to 20, like it's like 2050 or 75 megahertz on the core. I don't manually overclock my graphics card personally. I let the app handle it because it's always so far done a pretty good job. I think when I attempted it a few times, I didn't get any higher, and it was less stable. So I just let the app handle it. But yeah, so I don't have the best hardware, but I got pretty decent hardware. And I struggle in Space Tarkov. It definitely does need some more meat, needs some more work. But it's got some potential. I think it'll be pretty good when they get all the issues fleshed out. Let's see. I think I would cook it with cream. Uriel meat. I can't remember the ratio. It's been so long since I've done much with cooking. But I would cook it with cream, I think, in order to get some good values. I am far from a master chef in this game, so I may be wrong, but I believe what I would do. So let's see, I use those. Plenty of leather saved up for more bags if I need. So yeah, I'm making an assumption technically, and I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Technically, just hoping you're not a stream sniper. That by telling you I'm going to venture out of Hilspea, hopefully you don't use that information against me. But for the sake of you watching, we are going to leave Hilspea and maybe go find some more to do. Maybe kill some more Uriels on the way out. I usually do that on the way back, so probably not on the way out, but on the way back, get some Uriels. I kind of just like to go explore and hunt. Honestly, I'm far from the most efficient farmer in this game. But we'll attempt some adventuring. Hopefully we can have some fun for the stream here. Well, if it was, I'm a good 2 hours away travel time from you. Oh, you're pretty far from here. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, my hope is, I don't know if you've heard of him. There's a lot of people who have, so you may have. But in fact, before I misquote or mispronounce his name, let me find it real quick. There's a guy who plays this game, and he kind of wanders. And he does a lot with like he takes like screenshots and does like kind of like a traveling photographer slash journalist. His videos that he does about this game are often just kind of a low key, chill, like fun, down to earth vibe, just kind of exploring the game. Oh man, I hope he didn't like remove me or something, because I'm not finding him. It ends in something. It's like something forgiven. It's like HC forgiven or something like that. But I'm hoping to be able to do something kind of similar to what he does, and just kind of wander around and enjoy the scenery and the exploration aspect of the game. One thing I'd like to do within the game eventually is be a guide, kind of know areas well enough in multiple ways in and out of all the different places. It'd be nice. I think that would be fun. Be able to escort / guide people around, and so before I can get there, I've got to get to the point where I myself know better the layout and terrain and all that myself first. And so, if I can accomplish that, though, I think it would be kind of a fun thing to basically just venture, explore, and let people maybe kind of live vicariously through me. I know a lot of people enjoy watching like competitive multiplayer streams for that reason. They kind of like to just, be in on the heat, on the action of it. Manuel Schmidt just subscribed. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. That goes a long way on a very small channel like mine. That's definitely a much appreciated thing on anyone's channel. But definitely on my small channel, it's a much larger percentage per person subscribing. So thank you. I had one last reply to the old support team trying to help me work out my multi-streaming bugs. Anyway, I was kind of on my way out of town earlier. I was like just starting to like kind of venture out, and I got concerning looks from a couple of people from a guild that they are an unknown variable to me. Not on any of our lists of known friends, known neutral, may or may not attack, or outright known to kill, run, or kill, or be killed type of deal. So I was a little concerned. They were looking at me like they were contemplating engaging in some fuckery, so I went and waited a bit. Oh shoot, did I? Oh, I did empty that. Okay, I was like, did I empty my bags, or am I riding out with half a load of Uriel meat? Okay, so let's hope we don't die. There's always the chance for that. But let's hope it's a enjoyable experience where we can just kind of roam around. I think night is mostly over. I really like being out and about either during sunset or sunrise. I've got an entire folder of a whole bunch of screenshots from this game. And a lot of them are from dawn and dusk. Right now I'm getting only 50 or 60 frames per second, but I usually get far higher. But I run the game on cinematic. I do have this on performance right now because I was testing to see, in fact I'm going to turn it back up, ultra quality. I was testing to see if that helped with some of the issues I was running into with Streamlabs stream cutting out, but it did not. And, I know from experience that I don't even have to use DLSS for this graphics card. It does well enough, and in fact often I will turn off DLSS or run it at a higher setting to tax the GPU more, which subsequently, at least in the case of DLSS, will actually free up more resources, lower the burden on your CPU. The more frames it has to calculate, the more work the CPU does. So if you can find that sweet spot, but I've got it off right now, and it only dropped me down to 45. I was getting between 50 and 60 before, so we lost a few frames. I usually leave it on because I do like just the kind of free performance it gives for zero perceptible loss to quality. Yeah, it's a common tactic for people to watch exits of town or wait for someone that looks like they might have something nice. Yeah, I will sometimes even leave. You know, it's unfortunately I think they're either on to the tactic or don't care and just kill anyway. There's a few times where I've gone places just carrying everything I've got completely ungeared and unarmored, and I've still been murdered. But it does become a little more concerning even than normal when you've got good heavy armor, even just regular bags, but especially big bags, and it looks like your horse, like it looks like there's a lot of stuff in him weighing it down. That's happened to me a few times when I've gone out and got an entire load of like Tagmaton carcass. Been ganked a few times on the way back. There's even been times where I've been robbed and they took a few things and left me all of my gear and weapons and armor, like, you know, horse armor and bags. Like, you know, they really just took my resources, which everyone's different. But for me personally, no, I don't really even mind that. It kind of sucks. You know, it's a little demeaning to be robbed, but if you can continue on your merry way and, you know, they just take the resources. That's actually one of the reasons I'm really excited for the way that Ashes of Creation has planned, or what they're doing with the player PvP, like criminal side of things. I can't remember the exact percentages. I think it's 75%. They'll take 75% of your material if you kill them. But if you fight back and still die, you only lose 50. So it kind of incentivizes you to engage in that encounter. But on the other side of that coin is if you don't engage and they kill you, and you don't fight back, then their criminal status is even worse. They get a little bit more. You lose a little bit more of your resources. None of your gear or weapons or anything. But you lose more of your resources, but they get flagged as like a red killer and they can be hunted, bounty hunted, and you know, it's a more egregious punishment. Whereas if you fight back, I don't think they get that punishment. You have a chance to not die and lose all your stuff, or only lose half if you do die. So it's kind of cool. It kind of incentivizes fighting back to make it a little more fun rather than just trying to run, but it also more adequately punishes people trying to kill you, because then it makes their life in the game kind of shitty for a little while after. Whereas unfortunately in this game, you murder someone and you go to the authorities and say, sorry officer, I did a murder, here's your Amazon package, I'm delivering it for you, thanks for forgiving my murder, or giving you a package. Like, that's what it feels like, because all you gotta do is do a parcel run and you get that standing back. I think it takes like 5 murders before you're even flagged to be killed. Obviously, if you do it in the presence of a guard, they'll kill you even just that one time. But if you can be reported like 5 times before you'll be in trouble in this cities or towns. So there's virtually no downside. It has made me consider strongly a number of times becoming a PKer myself, just because purely logically considering the game and its pros, cons, benefits, downsides, there's very little downside to being a criminal. Almost none. Almost non-existent. Huge amount of upside though. People might spend an hour or 2 hours worth of work farming and get all of your hard work for free for 2 seconds of murder. It's a little bit discouraging, but I know they have, since I last played, because I only recently came back to the game, I think since I've been gone, they implemented the bounty hunting system, which should hopefully help a lot with that. I'm hoping that it helps make it a little bit more dangerous to murder. You might get a bounty hunter sticked on you. I actually was speaking with a guild member earlier today. Apparently they know somebody who will do the first or even a couple bounty hunts for free, and then you pay for any follow-up services. They will happily, or very affordably, like a very affordable price, they will happily go out and repeatedly kill their bounty target, basically until they rage quit. At least that game session, if not like for a while. And the person in the guild who's utilized the services of that individual has said that if they ever got killed by that person again, it was a very long time. So there is that solution, and that may be their goal. That may be what they're intending, is to very securely open the door for bounty hunting opportunities for other players, which is kind of awesome, because I could even see myself being, if ever I left the guild because I wanted to pursue other things, and they're great about it. They don't get into they don't make it like political, like pity party. Like they very graciously part ways with people who just want to do other things in the game, because some people want to play different. And so if ever I did, I know I could approach them and say, hey, I think I want to do something else in the game. And what that would most likely be is go out and be a bounty hunter. Because that might be kind of fun. I'm sure I would die a lot and suck at it at first, but it would be kind of fun to hunt down PKers. I don't know why I moved that bow. I'm just going to have to move it again. I hate that. So that could be fun. That may be something I eventually do. But hunting, definitely before that point. In the meantime, I'll be utilizing the services of a bounty hunter to help me. I haven't run into it since I've come back, just purely by virtue of the fact that I haven't been back for long. But before I left, I was pretty consistently harassed by a few different people. I found out they actually haven't played the game much, if at all, either in the last several months while I was gone. And I wasn't even gone because of that. I had some stuff going on in life, and I hadn't yet started up streaming, and I just didn't have a lot of time at that time in my life to spend on games. But it's kind of a good pair if you're trying to make a career of live streaming. Games that require hours of investment kind of seems like a good fit, because I'm going to be on anyway. Part of what made me decide to finally do it after years of planning and thinking one day I'll do this, or one day I might start. I thought that forever, years, like a decade or more, maybe like 15 years or more. I've been thinking about doing this in one capacity or another. Well, shit. When did Halo 2 come out? That was like 2004 or something. It's been almost 20 years, because I started thinking about this. I got invited to a couple tournaments back in Halo 2, like original Xbox Live, like heyday. And that's kind of when I started to think about this kind of thing. And then when it evolved into like live streaming becoming a thing, not just esports tournaments at like a local gathering type level. So when I decided I'd finally do it, I'm just thinking, I know for sure I like gaming. That's a passion of mine. And if I'm going to be playing anything, or I'm going to be playing something anyway, I'm going to be gaming anyway, I should just do what I wanted to do for years and just start live streaming. Yeah, I've seen some people get murked in town because they had a bounty on them. Yeah, that works, And the irony of that situation is the fact that you die in the moment to the guards, but one murder doesn't do shit for you. So the bounty hunter murking your ass in town where you think you're safe is possible because of the fact that the punishment system for murdering is so low that they can afford to kill you in front of guards, and that one murder charge. And I don't think it's even necessarily a murder charge if they're flagged as criminal at the time, but I don't think they can be in town at that same moment. So they probably, I think in that situation they would get a murder charge, but just one is nothing. Doesn't hurt them at all. That's great. I hope I see that one of these days. And, you know, genuinely a portion of the reason that I hope they kind of refine the system further is because you know, as it stands, like I do think people who want to role play like a criminal, in fact, I know this to be true, the statement I'm about to make, because I've read several people who comment very nearly the exact same thing that I have thought and said multiple times. And that is, you know, they want it to be a little more immersive. They want it to actually be a punishment, a little more immersive in that regard. They want it to actually be a concern or like a potential. Like right now, it's not a decision you make in like a meaningful way. You either decide to murder or not, and that's the end of it. You either get the free loot or you don't, and you get either a single murder charge that does nothing or you don't. But they want it to be like, you know, they kill somebody, you know, maybe two, maybe the limit's two, maybe you get one freebie in like a week. I don't know what the timer is, but I don't think it's very long. Like on this page here, it tells you murder count timer. I think it's a pretty short timer. So if it was a longer timer and the threshold was like 2, like you get a freebie, you know, you get to get your bloodlust out of the way once. You know, you get a freebie, but then after that, you know, it should take a while and the guards should know to come after you. One thing that might be cool as well is if they did something similar to how, like, Arcade, for example. You have like a jail system. Like, there's a ton of shit wrong with that game, but also it has a ton of potential. And one of the cool things about it was like the jail system. Like if you killed somebody and they reported you, you'd go on trial, and there was other players who could opt into or out of, like, you know, register for like the draft slash jury duty, like in real life, and you know they'd go and listen to what happened. The person who brought the charges and the person defending themselves would say what happened. Most of the time, a lot of people got to the point where, as is often the case in games that are, you know, like this, where you can lose a lot if you get killed and it's stolen by other players, they'll record the game or take a screen cap, you know, or a few subsequent screenshots of an unfolding situation, and they would say, I posted the screenshots to the media section of the official Discord. Refer to those as evidence, and the person would go to jail for like 4 in-game hours. And it wasn't like, you know, you log out and log in 4 hours later. It only counts down, and it was only like 30 minutes for first offenses, but like repeat offenders were just harassing and trolling and like genuinely making people's game experience a bad one. They could get up to like multiple hours of sentence, you know. And so somebody who was like a repeat offender, they go to jail for like 4 hours. That's logged in time. Like if they're logged out, they go to bed for the night, log back in 8 hours later, they've still got that 4 hours. They got to be logged in. And technically they could just log in and AFK. So it's not like it's actually making somebody sit at their computer and stare at a screen for 4 hours. But it's like, you don't get to play this game, you know, as a result of your punishment, you know. And I think that takes it a little too far. There's obviously too much realism. I mean, if in a game like this, they went so far with realism to say, if you die once, you delete your character, and you're not allowed to make another character. We'll ban your IP address, you know, because in real life, you die, you're done, you know. So there's definitely too far in the journey for realism, you know. But there's also kind of a better spot for immersion's sake. I think it would be cool if they did a little bit more with the punishment system to make it a little bit more, because as it stands, there's no like wondering. There's no wondering whether someone's gonna fuck with you or not. Well, I guess technically I don't know if it's still this way because I only did just come back. But when I played before, I played for months. And 99% of the time, if I saw somebody while I was out and about, they were aggressive. Very rarely did you see somebody out and about who didn't just kill you and take your shit. So it wasn't even like, it didn't add any mystery. You already fucking knew what was going to happen. You were going to die if you didn't fight back or run away. Whereas, you know, if they added enough of a punishment that it wasn't a guarantee that somebody was going to gank you, there might very well be times when you just didn't know, and you might think to yourself, I actually don't know whether they're going to attack me or not. I don't know if it's that way now. Still so far, you know, I was out with one person who I met in town, and he was chill. But we went out, and the first people we came across fucking murdered us. So it was like, well, nope, still not a mystery. It's still a known factor in this equation. You run across people out in the world, you're gonna die. And you know, so it takes away from the game, unfortunately, a little bit. And what's testament to how good this game is in all the other ways and how much potential it has is, even that being the case, it is still a really good game, a ton of fun to play, and it has a massive amount of potential. So it's kind of like one of those things where, like, when a game does so well in so many aspects, the small things ironically stick out that much worse. And that is one of the small things that sticks out worse because of the rest of the game being so good. Is that I think they could do with some refinement of the punishment system, in my opinion. I think everyone would benefit from that. Anyway, I get on a soapbox and I'll rant for an hour plus about the same thing. What I am trying to do right now is find a way down this here treacherous cliff. I think I can actually get down here. That looks like it's shallow enough. There used to be multiple goat and horse spawns kind of up and around the areas that I was just in. Oh shit, he took way more damage than I thought he was going to from that short a distance. Alright, horse, let's bandage you if I don't fall down this cliff before I have a chance. Well, we might be bandaging him once we get down if he'll follow us down. Oh, I hope I don't die. Woo! That's good, we didn't take too much damage. Oh, I might take more here though, I'm still sliding. Oh good, it was the non... Oh shit, I did not mean to jump. Woo! Oh, I shouldn't be worried so much about players killing me. I'm gonna kill myself on accident. Shit. Yeah, there used to be a ton of Jotun horse spawns in various areas. I knew where they were, and I knew where to go out and find them, but they're not in those places anymore. According to the old handy dandy interactive map. Shit, that bandage did not do much health repair to me. Guess we better use another one. How you doing, Joseph? Shit, I don't know why I thought like 5 or 10 bandages would be enough. I kind of forgot that I used to take out like 25 or more. I also used to take out a little water and calamine, I think, is the name of the reagent for casting spells. My spells are like basically garbage, but water's free, literally. It's either super cheap if you buy it or free if you get it from a water source. And you could, I could cast that while riding. I think you can actually bandage while riding, but maybe I could have been riding, but it was just an alternative to something to heal me and my horse if I ran out of bandages. Chester says hello. Hello, Chester. How are you? Welcome to the stream, my friend. We're just wandering around, exploring. I'm hoping to find an extra horse. I can use the saddlebags to gather a little more stuff to come back and sell. How about yourself? Have you played MOREtal Online 2? Are you playing right now even? Or are you just watching to play vicariously through someone else type of thing? Or I do that a lot when I was working at the job I had before I started streaming. I was driving a lot, and I'd literally spend the 14 to 16 hours a day that we were working just watching pretty much stream after stream, you know, of whatever game I either wanted to play or was playing myself on what little free time I got. That job was just a seasonal job though, so that's why I decided to start doing this. Because work is on hiatus for now. So I'm hoping to make a good go of the old streaming. Something I've always wanted to do. So I figured I better just start doing it. Instead of giving myself excuses why I'll wait till X or Z or X or Y or Z time frame, you know, like. I know that's often like the stereotypical conversation that people hypothetically have with themselves when like deciding when to have children. As one example, they'll often be like, you know, when we have this much money in the bank, or when I'm making this much money per year, or when we have X size of house or larger paid off, or you know, they'll give themselves whatever thresholds they set. And I kept doing that, but it was always with like kind of things that didn't matter as much as those things do. Like, you know, I don't have the best streaming setup, but it works, and I have far from the best internet. I have a 4 megabit per second upload speed. Like for reference, I think the national average is like 50 down and like 10 or 15 upload. Maybe even higher on average, but it's like, it's well below average. It's bad. And I didn't think it would work. I genuinely thought, I was thinking to myself, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna start streaming. The one thing that is out of my hands is whether my internet can handle it or not. So we're gonna test it and see. And so the first day I spent about 8 hours streaming, and I didn't run into any issues, and my mind was blown that it worked. I even managed to tweak some settings and squeeze out 1080 or 720 60 frames per second. I can just barely do 1080 30, but that's close enough to my bandwidth limit that it starts to cause problems. So I have to kind of back it back down the bitrate, and the minimum bitrate for 1080p 30 is higher than 720p 60. So I figured if I gotta back the bitrate down, instead of having a low bitrate 1080p 30, I may as well have a higher bitrate 720p 60 frames. So unfortunately, that's why my stream is not the most high quality. I hope it's still good enough to be enjoyable, especially if you're not watching it full screen on a large monitor. It should be okay, I hope. But yeah, that was my one out of my own control variable, because there is one internet service provider where I live, and it is DSL, and I have the fastest package they offer, which is 25 down, or no, I think it's 20 down and 4 up. Utter garbage. And these bastards have the audacity to charge me almost $90 a month for it. I will be moving hopefully sooner than later, sometime in the next 4 to 6 months. And where I'm moving, I will have fiber. And I think I'm going to buy a couple $100 Intel Arc graphics card because it comes with the new AV1 streaming codec. And so far, YouTube and Twitch support it. And I will use that as like my streaming card. Like you can choose which GPU processes your stream encode. I can choose that one. Pretty cheap. In fact, I think it might only be like $140 card. I think it's somewhere in like the 200s, but I might be wrong. It might be like low 100s for one of their cheaper cards that has that codec. And it would be more than enough for the stream. Like to encode the stream. And then that way the card I use now for gaming and stream encoding can be just for streaming. And the monitor I run is natively 1440. So if I could stream at 1440p, 60 frames per second, as my card is proof, I mean, I'm running at 1440p, 144 cap. I'm only getting 60 to 70, well, I had almost 75 there for a second, frames per second on cinematic quality. So like my card can handle it. But it could do even better if it wasn't also trying to stream, like encode the stream. The one last thing that I won't be able to upgrade anytime soon, and unfortunately it's probably also pretty high on the list of priority things to replace, will be my processor. It's only a 6-core that can hyperthread. Fortunately, it's an 8700K. And I do have it overclocked, so that helps a lot. But even with as hard as I'm pushing my GPU right now, my bottleneck is still definitely my processor. Right now it's running at 91, 92. Well, no, it's dropping. Maybe it was just higher because it was trying to load the program that I have that monitors. It's running a little lower now, but I have seen it on certain streams with certain games running as hot as like mid to high 80s or even 90% usage, because it does use some processor as well as your graphics card to encode the stream, and obviously the games themselves use some amount of processor. Oof, wasn't even aware DSL was still around. Yeah, the one massive thing that is a objectively positive thing about DSL is very low ping. I think I get, it's not as low as fiber, but I think only fiber is lower than DSL. The ping is actually great. I think I have like a 10 millisecond ping, and sometimes it's even less. And a lot of times with cable, you're sitting in the 20 to 40, depending on a number of variables. A place I lived some years ago where I had cable, that's about where it was. I think I was high 20s ping, you know, so not like any of those numbers are very high, but compared to the basically 1 millisecond of fiber, you know, 30 milliseconds for cable is pretty high. 30 milliseconds or so for my old cable connection was also still fairly high compared to the 10 or less that I get on DSL. So it does have its ever so slight advantages, but I'm just realizing now that I might have passed where the Jotun spawn is supposed to be. And we're getting close to where I got ganked last night. So, I hope it was an isolated incident at the hands of a nefarious a ne'er-do-well traveler and not a resident of this area who might be creeping the same area around the same time. I guess we gonna find out. They might get the pittance that I have on me. I have nothing of high value. The highest thing of value I have is the 45,000 Uriel carcass I have. That's worth probably 10 to 15 gold, I think, somewhere in that range, roughly speaking. So, yep, somebody might get that. I never have success. I think I would enjoy this game more. I think the constant threat of being ganked would be slightly less frustrating if combat in the game wasn't kind of objectively bad. Like, you get hit without hit indicators. People won't even render on your screen until they're right on your ass sometimes. You know, one thing I like in a game I play called Scum is the render distance for people is like super fucking far away. Like 1,000 meters or more in the game. Like, that's, in this game, that's the equivalent of me sniping somebody from top of those trees clear over there in the distance. Like, that's how far away you can see people in the game. This game needs that in a bad way, because if you could just see people coming and kind of prep yourself, you'd have a lot better time. But as it stands, there's invisible load barriers where, you know, say I'm passing one as I come upon this rock up here. Somebody could literally be as far away from the rock the other direction as me, but we won't see each other until we're right on top of each other because of that load barrier. Very frustrating in a full loot PvP game. You basically have assistance from the game in getting jumped. So I'm hoping they refine that. One thing I give as massive props to both this game and Scum is the developer of both games. Like, it's not the same developer, but the developers of that game as well as the developers of this game, both development teams routinely update their game. Like, not just like once a month or every few months or twice a year or whatever, like a lot of games. Scum updates weekly. Every Monday they have a patch, even if it's just like a few small fixes. And I think this game is about as frequent. It might be weekly as well, and if not weekly, it wouldn't surprise me to find that they do it every couple of weeks or every few weeks. You know, like, they're pretty frequent also. So that is a huge thumbs up to the developers of each respective game. They're constantly working on them. That goes a long way in the eyes of the players and the rapport. Because if the game was in the state that it is right now and there was just nothing from the devs, it'd die in like a month. No one would keep playing this game, or Scum, with the problems that they have in the state that they are in. I mean, people still would, but you know, slowly but surely the population would die out. But the fact that both games are being routinely updated gives people a lot of optimism when they run into a problem and they are like, in the moment, they're like, fuck, why is this so shitty? You know, as long as they're being reasonable, they'll remind themselves it's still in development, they're still working on it, and they do constantly polish the game. So you can hold out hope, at least, that soon this issue may be resolved. So I think this little pass might be where basically the only spawn in Hilspea for the Jotuns is anymore. This may not be the right pass. I think there used to, or I used to know of a way, I think. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game, but I think I used to know of a way to actually check your location within the game on the interactive map. I think there's a way to like get your coordinates and put it in the interactive map and actually know where you are. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. The way that I typically reference the interactive map for my location in this game is let me pull up the interactive map while I'm thinking about it, in fact. I just kind of look around at landmarks and piece together where I am based on that visual information. Kind of in the middle of this thing here, but I'm right next to a rock. Hoping that I don't stand out too bad while I try to figure out where the hell I'm at. Unless I went really far east, which might have been what I did. I did travel for quite some way. Unless I went too far east. I think I'm near. Hello. They just ran right past me. Hopefully they don't come murder me. Well, hopefully they saw me put my weapon away and then I'm not chasing them. I didn't even catch their names or their guild, so don't murder me, please. That's I think the first time since I've come back that I've come across somebody that either didn't murder me or, like, not everyone I've come across has murdered me. I should clarify. I was leaving town earlier and somebody was just kind of looking at me funny. You know, I was suspicious of that maybe happening. But yeah, no, I think that's where I am. The Jotun horses are near the bandit camp in this ravine. It's called Talus Pass. I think that's where I am. And that's apparently the only Jotun spawn in Hilspea. I think they removed all the rest of them from Hilspea. There's a bunch over to the east, like on the way to Galkor. Like 3 or 4. This is the closest one to Hilspea. I'm honestly probably gonna stop getting Jotun horses up here. I might even just wander my happy ass down to whatever they called paint? No, steppe horses. They're basically what the paint horses are. The steppe horses, they're about as far away, and I think they're a little faster than Jotuns. There's a bunch of the spawns down kind of near Tindrum, but that's kind of also a shitty gank area from what I remember. Been a while, so things could have changed, and or I may be remembering incorrectly, but I recall that whole like Tindrum, like between Meduli and Hilspea, like that Tindrum like plateau almost. It's kind of a shitty place. That's actually exactly the last place that I died in the game before I stopped playing. That wasn't why I stopped. I was already kind of stressing, pretty dealing with some pretty heavy depression and some anxiety just in general, but augmented tenfold by anxiety regarding some things that I just was dealing with in my life around that time. And I was already kind of being like, I don't have the time required for this game right now, and sad about that because I was really into it and enjoying it. And so I was just kind of feeling down, and then I was just making a trip from Meduli to Tindrum for something. Either I think I had some important, like, valuable things I was transporting. But I hit one of those load walls with somebody camping it. All of a sudden I took damage with no noise, no hit indication. If I hadn't been looking at my health bar or around that area of my screen and happened to notice my health bar, wouldn't have even known because it didn't pop up on screen saying I took damage. There was no noise indicator. All of a sudden I was just 2/3 dead. And I turned all around me looking to try to find out who had shot me. And I was at least trotting, if not running. Like I was moving pretty good even. And I was looking all around me trying to find who the hell was there. And literally as I was looking to whichever side they were on, I think it was my left side, they just like vaporeal formation right near me, right next to me. Like it was like their horse was stuck in a T-pose, and they had no gear, no weapon, no nothing. And then all of a sudden, I got shot again, and their armor kind of pieced together on their body slowly near me as I faded into death. And it was just the shittiest fucking situation. I was like, well, I guess that's just the sign that I was thinking I probably needed to do. Take a break from this game. And I logged out. And 6 months later, yesterday or the day before, when I logged in, that's where I was. And so, oh man. That whole area is just like nightmares. Yeah, a while ago the game had really bad level of detail issues. Yeah, I'm hoping that they've got it fixed. I've read that this setting helps a lot. Character distance CPU optimization. Because what it will try to do is render everything when they're first detected, and it causes them to actually, basically nothing on them will render as they continue to move. And then when it finally manages to load it and render them into the game, they're a lot closer. Whereas supposedly with this setting on, it will render basically just the shittiest, most basic, almost wireframe version of them at the distance that they are first detected at. And at that distance, you don't need to see exactly what they got. And you probably couldn't really discern what they've got at that distance anyway. And it actually supposedly helps them render further out more quickly. And then they'll continue to render in more detail with more descriptors, such as their armor and gear and things like that, as they get close. So hopefully they've got that working properly. Well, I'm not seeing any Jotun horses. There's a shit ton of houses in this valley where they're supposed to spawn, and I know that can fuck with their spawn. That's the reason the old spawn that I normally visit, I think that's part of the reason there's none there whenever I go. There's probably fewer that spawn because of the houses getting in the way of the spawn location, combined with the fact that with the very few that still do spawn are probably just snatched right up by all the people. Probably what's happened here. No Jotuns. They just don't spawn in as high a number and are taken pretty much immediately by anyone who... Oh, I spoke too soon. There's one. Woo! Found a horse. Let's hope we don't get shot while we tame it. Oh, there's two. Man, I wish my taming was high enough to take two. I have considered dropping something that I've got. I don't know what. I'll have to think long and hard about it. But I've considered dropping something that I've got in favor of taming slash is it herding that lets you have a lot? I've seen people towing around 4 or 5 and then riding one. Something crazy like that. Like literally a fucking herd. Very appropriately named. Yo, herdy. Oh, that's 91. Oh, what? I can still have it? Damn, I got more pet points than I thought. Because I had a 40. I thought I could only hold like a couple. You know, 50 to 75-ish or so, but that one's 97. All right. My mule horses are always donkey, donkey, and the horses I ride are always Joseph. So until we need to put bags on him, we shan't. We shan't be bagging him. Damn, we've only got a little bit of food left. I think I brought 1,000. Freaking Joseph was a hungry boy from all that riding. Well, hopefully Donkey doesn't die because he's 97. That's pretty high. He's been there for a while. Or he spawned really high. I suppose that might have been what happened. Whoa, what is this? Gravy trains loot. Well, some people have died here recently. Wonder if they were attacking that building. Can't tell if that's just like being built or if it was like destroyed. But yeah, there's some bodies and some loot there, so there's been combat at least recently enough. I don't know what the timer is. I don't know what the timer is on loot bags. I don't know if they last for 10 minutes or an hour or what, but there's like 4 bags of loot from people dying over there. So we're leaving. We are getting the fuck out of here. Don't know where I'm going. Don't know what I'm hunting. Probably head south and then maybe west. I don't know. I like just kind of exploring. Basically what I try to do, best I can. I don't always remember to do it, but I try to leave just assuming I'm going to die and lose everything I got. Because then when I don't, it's a very pleasant surprise. But if it does happen, then it's like, that's about what I expected. We had fun on our adventure in the meantime. What I should do is head down to Madudu, old Madulio, and do my Tagmaton / desert horse run. That's a pretty lucrative run. I'd go down and I'd head out either on foot or with one desert horse and then pick up a second while I'm out. Oh, fill my bags on both horses with Tagmaton meat and then come back. I feel like somewhere between 2/3 and 3/4 of the time I'd make it back successfully. And then about 1/4 of the time I'd lose the horse and what I had on it. Technically my home has always been in Hilspea because the easiest, most risk-free way for me to make money was always running down. Oh damn it, did the horse get stuck? Yeah, fool! The easiest, most risk-free way for me to make money was to run down, get Jotuns, put bags on them, hunt Uriels, come up and sell all the stuff and the horses. So I left my home as Hilspea, so the worst case scenario I was just getting fucked with. I could teleport there and engage in that little loop. Where did he get stuck at? Didn't go around any corners. I don't think I saw it say he died. Yeah, it says he's with me. It gave him a different name and reordered him in my pet list. Oh, I think I just saw him. He's up there on the damn... What? You're in the rock up there. The hell are you doing? Oh, apparently this is a shitty spot because I see a step horse up there. This is like a bugged spot apparently. Well, let's see if we can find a way to free him. Mr. Level 97 Jotun horse. I will endeavor to save you. Oh, he's kind of following me this way. Come on, boy, you can make it. Look, there's another one. This is the spot where they go to die, apparently. Come on, you can do it. Come to me, boy. Yeah, yeah.
Brody? Yo, you want to be friends, Brody?
Watch out for them rats. They're gonna get you. See if I can help this guy get the rats off him. Hopefully he won't kill me for helping him out. No. Don't die, buddy. Leave my horse alone.
You saved my life.
Do you need a horse? Your horse stuck somewhere?
Yeah, my horse died. I'm just running down to my friends at the bandit camp. You can come down there if you want. We're friendly.
I saw some people, I saw Migrex and Finolf from your guild earlier. We have a list in our guild of people who are either friendly or not.
Okay.
I didn't see you guys on that list, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, a lot of people were ganking them and stuff earlier, so they might have just been fighting people because they were mad.
How do I trade a horse to you again? I forgot. I haven't played in a long time.
I think you slide it into the bar or something if you don't have dominating. Like you can just open up your pet menu or some shit. I forget.
I found it. It's the transfer button within the pet window.
Press P and then transfer, yeah. Dang, dude, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. That way I figured you don't have to run the whole way.
Yeah, thanks, bro. You're the man.
But, let's put it up here, shall we? We'll go see if we can make some friends. They might kill us and steal all our goods, but we'll come say hi. Maybe I can make another friendly guild to put on our non-aggression pact, or at least have kind of a tentative, like, friendly toward. That's kind of one of the goals of our guild, is we try to offer banking related services and remain politically neutral. We don't make alliances, we just have a non-aggression pact where we just don't attack each other. We don't necessarily support or defend them. We just don't engage in aggression with them.
Hey, bro.
Hey, how's it going?
Be careful. Be careful. There is so many people in the bandits team.
Yeah, I helped that other dude. He was getting attacked by rats, and I gave him that horse, and he invited me to come say hi. He was going to his friends, but yeah, earlier I saw a ton of bags on the ground from people having been murdered. So I was like, I don't know about this place. Seems like some fighting happened here.
Okay, see you.
Yeah, take care, man. I think I was from Dreadlords. I wonder what. And the other dude just ran off, so I guess we're not following him. We won't make friends. That's alright. See if I can grab the other horse that was down here real quick. We gave him that one. See if it's even there still. Can't remember how far down it was. I think it was just over here. If it's not there, we could probably go back and try to get that step that was stuck. Or that Jotun that was stuck. I bet I could find a way to get to him and tame him. I think they just got left because I was lucky enough to notice that my horse stopped following me. They might not have noticed their horse stopped following them. Yeah, I think it was like right here. I think that guy might have been riding the other one that was still here when I tamed the one I tamed. Oh, nope, there it is. I found you. Yeah. Yep, I saw that flag too, and I was my first thought was, well, I'm getting murdered, but all right, I am glad to have been proven wrong because, like I said, before coming back and so far up, small sample size. I've only been back for a couple days, but so far up till a couple of times just now on this play session, running across people out and about has been an indication of murder. Gonna die. Alright, well, he ate all the dial. He was pretty hungry too, so we're gonna have to find some more food. That will not feed him enough for him to not leave me. So maybe we'll get out of this valley we've been warned about and see the proof of dead warning on the ground and maybe find some food for him elsewhere. Yeah, I got him down to a few hundred hunger. That's better than I thought. I was worried it wouldn't do much at all, but it did some good. Yeah, when I saw him flagged for murder, my first thought was I'm gonna die. But like I said, I'm glad to have been proven wrong. When he started talking first, instead, my second thought when he started talking was like, is he gonna rob me? Because that's happened to me before. I've come across people and instead of dying, on a few occasions they would rob me instead. And one of the times they robbed me was they took almost nothing. They took like the money I had on me, which wasn't much. I think I had a couple of gold coins, and I think like one stack of some carcass, something I had kind of valuable. But they left like 99% of what I dropped. I picked up virtually all of what I dropped for them to inspect and continued on my merry way. And I was like, all right, I can deal with that. It still kind of sucks. It's a little demeaning. It's kind of like a hit to your pride to get robbed. And I know people who'll be like, nah, I'll fight you for it. I won't go down without a fight. And a couple times they've actually won, so they didn't get robbed or murdered. But for me, where I know I'm not fantastic at PvP and I don't have like super expensive gear that I've spent hours farming that, might have a pretty good chance of protecting me. Oh, what? I went slow past that spot and he still got stuck. Maybe that's just a shitty spot to take horses through. Yeah, look, see, there he is. Where are you, dirtpass horse? Come on, boy. Here, boy. This is where the other one came out and freed itself. Oh my hell, this spot, okay. I thought I got through the shitty spot where he was hiding before, but I sure didn't. Yeah, my gut says don't go meet his friends. Fair point. That's part of the problem. I know, I understand it. I'm self-aware enough to admit and recognize that part of my problem is that I am kind of naturally trusting. Some of my best friendships I've ever had in life are just because I gave somebody a chance, even when I might have logically thought they didn't deserve it or shouldn't have had it, but it doesn't work out very well to be that way in a game like this, unfortunately. But I am lucky enough to be in a guild with a lot of craftsmen, so I got like a dozen bows or something earlier, so I got plenty in case I die. I've got bows. I can always buy vendor gear at the very least, but I also got somebody working on making me some armor. So I'm well taken care of in that regard, so that way even when I die and lose my shit, I've at least got backup stuff. You know, in worst case scenario, I've played the game enough, my skills are leveled enough that I can even just buy like a cheap vendor sword for a few silver and murder zombies if I need to get enough gold to buy the vendor armor, and then just run out and tame my own horse. And you know, I could even just buy, I could go out naked and just buy like a pickaxe and go mine some shit and extract it and sell that for a little money. You know, I could see it being particularly daunting if I was still brand new to die and lose all what I had, but I'm familiar enough with the game that I know worst case scenario I wouldn't be completely screwed. Where'd you get stuck now? I swear to God. Oh, you're right there. Okay, holy shit. I thought my horse got stuck again. He's just lagging behind. Which is weird because I'm just trotting. Good hell, this is a beautiful spot. Oh man, I know why all these people made their houses right here. This is a nice spot. Where to go? Time to die. Want your carcass. I'm a GKer. I'm a goat killer. Goaten's the slowest horse in the game. Yeah, I think eventually they have plans to differentiate the horses with more than just their speed, but I think right now it's basically just their speed. They can all hold the same amount of weight. I think they have almost the same amount of health. What? Well, he's legitimately stuck somewhere now because I simply went after this goat and he's gone. What the fuck? Damn it, horse. If I load you up with Uriel carcasses, you run off on me, I'm gonna be real pissed. Like, losing him now would suck, you know, just because you miss out on an extra horse, but he didn't have anything on him. Look at him. Look at him just derp-assing over here. What are you doing, dude, bro? It might be these houses messing with him. Goatens are the tanky one. Oh, so they're slower but have more health. I guess that makes sense. Most of the time, not since I've come back to playing, but if I took all of my game time and set it in like a percentage or like an average, definitely like 90% of my game time I've spent riding around on deserts because most of my game time was down in Meduli. And I hate that area. Aesthetically, it's probably one of my least favorite areas, but financially it was pretty good. I spent a lot of time down there. I think I've got a full stable of desert horses in Meduli. The reason I only had one horse in my Hilspea is because I would get horses as a source of income up here. So I had so many horses relatively easily obtained that I was selling them. So I was like, I only need one because I'm on foot 99% of the time I'm here. I go out and get 2 horses, kill a bunch of goats, come back, sell the horses and all the goat material. I'll just have this one horse in case I need to leave here on foot with anything. But I'm unfortunately going to have to keep more horses in Hilspea now because they are much harder to find. I've got a few, or maybe just a couple. If I make it back with this one, I'll have 3 or 4. I'm slowly building my stables in Hilspea. Man, this is a gorgeous spot. We are in right now. Holy shit. Weird, I'm getting some weird like frame chop right now. Like once it settles off, I get like 40 to 50 frames per second. So it's a bit lower now than it was earlier. Kind of makes sense. There's a bit more going on the screen right now. But every once in a while, it'll just completely lock up for a second and freeze. Or worse, it'll go down to like 1 frame per second for like 10 seconds. Every once in a while. It hasn't happened in that one hasn't happened in hours. But I had it happen a few times earlier. I think I can feed this to the horses. I don't even remember what this is, but I think this is a plant I can harvest. Nymph herb. Oh. No, that's not something I feed to the horses. It's a semi-valuable item to have, keep a hold of. And in fact, I think those things that go away like that aren't like repeatedly gatherable from, you can actually pick those from horseback. Ah, sure can. Thought I remembered that. Well, we're awfully close to this house and this keep. You know, like me, I don't ever just chill out at a house or a keep. I'm hoping that they're not just hanging out at the house or at the keep. Like they're out and about shenaniganizing or whatever they do. They're not here where they can murder me. One really cool thing that I like about this game is that there's a couple people who I like watching their videos about this game. Oh, we just took damage. Someone just shoot me? Or did I have damage from before that didn't fully heal? The screen did a weird flash and then I noticed that my health is low. It might have been low. Maybe it's just been low for a while. Oh, game froze there for a second. That's fun. Fun to freeze when you think you might have been shot at. I don't think I got shot at because that's hardly any health missing unless they like shot me. It's like a pebble or something. But I don't even remember what I said. Oh, yeah. There's a couple people who make videos that I like, and you know, in most games like MMOs like this, you'll see somebody make a video and you're like, ah, that's not the server I play on. You know, like, so I can kind of watch what they're doing, but like it always just seems like a distant thing or whatever. Whereas in this game, hypothetically, if I do well with streaming and I continue to have more people like my content, watch my content, if they end up hopping in stream and chatting and having fun, we could totally hang out in the game. I love the idea of that. Like, I've had fun when I've hung out with streamers I thought were pretty cool in other games and got a chance to like meet up with them in that game. I like that. I like that kind of thing. And if people who watch my stuff were also the same way and happened to like that, I think that would be kind of cool. That could be kind of fun. It comes with the inherent possibility of getting stream sniped and ganked and all that, but I don't know. I'm hoping to develop a reputation as I try to be a genuinely good and kind individual, and unless someone's just out to watch the world burn. Hopefully, hopefully they don't have any particular animosity or reason to harass me, and maybe we could have some fun times. Wander around and explore the game, and that'd be kind of cool. And another thing, one thing I think is really awesome, a streamer that I really respect from the Scum gaming community, his name is Raykit, and he helped Scum become as popular and as well polished and as successful as it has been, because he kind of started while they were still fledgling and early and had a lot of problems, but enough people liked his stream and got interested in the game. Like if ever that happened where I could assist the developers in like kind of the publicity of the game, like that would be awesome to me, like, because this is a game I enjoy. I would love to see it do well. Oh shit, there's spiders here. I'm gonna get some crepite. Hell yeah! I don't even know where I'm at. I better try to kind of stuff that out so I can come back here. Where are the spiders? Let me do filter. Filter by, I think these are mountain spiders or something like that. Mountain spider. I don't know if that's what they're called. Oh yeah, there it is, mountain spider. Right. Yeah. I think that's where I'm at. Because I see about where I thought I was, a mountain spider spawn. Oh, what? Is that what is over there? Is that a Tagmonton? Tagmonton's here too? I can't tell what that is. Hold on, let me get a little closer. Oh no, the silhouette kind of reminded me of a Tagmonton, but oh, there's players there. Hopefully they aren't interested in murdering me. They're riding the other way. So hopefully they're yet another example of proving me wrong in a very delightful, pleasantly surprised, glad to be wrong way. Yep, they just rode on by. They weren't interested in murderifying me. That's awesome. I'm glad that it's not the case anymore where everyone you come across is just out to kill you and take your shit. What up, spatter? Oh nice, we get 3 clade from killing them. I think you only get 2 from the zombies, and I don't know if you get any from the goats. You might get 1. I get a clade from the goats. Alright, looks like we're loading up Donkey. Oh, I gotta rename him because I gave away the other Donkey. I gotta have this centered or my OCD will go insane. Oh, nope, didn't mean to transfer. Donkey. Alright, Donkey. Gonna go ahead and load you up. We'll make you look like a nice juicy bait target. If I have to choose, I want to keep the Uriel on my main horse. We'll sacrifice you and the spider stuff if I need to. Although maybe the crepite's more valuable than the goat stuff. I may be doing it backward. What up, spider? You're ugly as fuck, buddy. Would you two stop trying to get a piggyback ride from me? Holy shit. I mean, I know I ride around on your back, but this isn't a return the favor sort of thing. Get off me. Yeah, I guess we'll put that over there. I do still need to find more food for the horses. I used to kind of know what the bushes that you could get food from looked like, but now I'm kind of struggling to remember what they look like. This one? No. Oh man, there's only 2 spiders? Oh, here's more. Ah! Good. Very nice. Gonna murder us some more mountain spiders. Oh, the real mountain spider-oo. Oh, I don't even know how that song goes. It's been so long since I've heard it. Damn it! Donkey. You. Alright. Stay your ass here. While I loot the damn spider meat. Alright, we're gonna get a little distance. And then take out this spider. Or we'll miss. Yeah, got him that time. Got him again. They make some creepy fucking noises when you kill them too. Would you get off me? I swear. Trying to hitch a piggyback ride. Nope, nope. There we go. Alright. So, is it Desus? Game over? Is that how you pronounce it? Did I say it correctly? Or is it like Decius or Desus or something? I don't know. I might be saying it wrong. Oh, this is a castle. I think that's control. Decius? Oh, okay. Decius. Okay, that makes more sense now that you say that. I see that. I'm just retarded. Don't mind me. Anyway, what are you up to right now? You up to anything fun? Are you farming or hunting or exploring or as I've mentioned, I'm definitely one for exploring. I like roaming. Farming clade, nice. I should probably do the same. I don't think my clade's very high. I'm at 12 out of 20. I'll have to refresh my memory on what I even wanted to do with my build exactly. I've got all the basic stuff figured out, fortunately. But I think I'm to the point where I'm going to have to start, like, focusing or specializing in what I want to get figured out with it. Hoping to come across some more mountain spiders, but I don't think... Oh, there's one more. Oh, there's a few spawns to the west of us. And we are going west, so maybe we will actually come across some more. Why lag spikes? Why? Might have to allocate more, like, what game was it? I had to go into, like, the registry or something, tweak something, and then it stopped stuttering on me. I'm gonna have to figure out if I can do that with this game too. It just stutters. Is this? Can't tell from all the way up here. Plant you boys can eat. Common murtis. I think it is. I don't know if they like it or not, but. No, that's another like herb I want to keep. I'll find you fellas some grub. I can't remember what it looks like. Jungle boys. I might have to feed him this. This is all I'm finding. I have to give you boys my good food if I don't find something better to feed you. You guys were carnivores, so we could kill us an antelope. Get you some antelope. But oh no, you only want to eat herbs. Herbivores. Lame. Oh, there's a bear. Get on the horse. Bears will fuck you up. Alright, bear. Time to die, you little bitch. Oh, it's a young brown bear too. Man, you are too big for your britches, buddy. Gonna shoot you right in the face with arrows. Oh, he called back up. Got another bear after me now. Forgot how dangerous this game is to be on foot. Almost got mauled by a bear. Oh, you little bitch. Stop hitting my horse. I'm almost out of bandages. Maybe I should head back and get more bandages and butcher what I've got so far. Or I'll miss entirely, that works too.